welcome to CrossFit Tamworth's first ever podcast. I've got myself, Mark Oscroft, and you've got
me, Tom Brooks. First of many, hopefully.
Yeah.
if you all enjoy and listen and keep giving us feedback and keep sharing it, then yeah. So we've got loads of exciting things coming up. Obviously, it's the first of many podcasts. We're going to have some guests coming up. We're going to be getting you guys to get involved as well as the months go on. But as our first one, we thought we'd let you know about a couple of things we've got coming up in the future, and then we'll invite our guests on and you can come and answer some questions. We'll go from there. So coming up, we have
got the main event this month, which is going to be the Open itself. So the Open's going to start on the 24th Pacific time, 5 o'clock Pacific time in the US. But I think they're going to do live announcements now, aren't they?
Oh, they really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think that is destined for about 8 p.m. our time
nice.
On Thursdays. So something we've got to double check on that one. So it's our pinnacle of our event, because we won something called the CrossFit Tamworth Championships all year round itself, which is we've got teams, 3 teams itself, all battling out over different events, different challenges throughout the year itself, and it also falls onto the Open itself, where the last 3 weeks of the Open itself, they be able to get the final points for the teams.
And that's when it all completely changes. So it doesn't matter who's in the lead, because points mean prizes in the Open, and it's your chance to get extra points by signing up, by judging, by PBing, by making cakes, and
just being there.
Being there,
you can get most points for just staying from the start to the end, even if you didn't take part in it. It's about giving support to everybody who's taking part anyway. So the more people we can get there, and the more atmosphere we get, the better it's going to be. I always look forward to this time of year. Do you, Tom?
Yes. Do you know, for people who would say just coming to the gym is just exercise or just a hobby, it's actually quite nice to get some competitiveness in. It's quite nice just to come in and get some atmosphere going. And it's, I don't know, it becomes more of a sport and a hobby this time of year, as opposed to just coming and working out and being healthy. Like, we can actually have some fun and put everything that we've learned over the last month or years, or depending how long you've been, into action and kind of push and have some fun.
The best thing I see it as is when you see people get PBs, where you get that first pull up, that first toaster bar, or start linking them in, especially in the workout, and literally, if you do one of the old workouts, just smashing the old workout itself, and seeing everybody's faces when they get that new movement or that new PB, it's just absolutely fantastic. I mean, especially when all the crowds roaring as well. Everybody's roaring, back in the air, standing up, and literally it's just like a joy for me, seeing everybody push themselves and just mainly having fun itself.
So guys, you're going to keep last Friday in Feb free from 4 o'clock, and then the 2 Fridays after, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And what we do is we don't find the workouts until you do. So as soon as we find the workouts, we'll get some warm-ups over to you. We'll set the gym up in lanes. You guys can come in at any point. You can stick around all evening, and you can come and do your workout. And
Even bring some beers for afterwards.
Bring some beers.
Yeah. Just make sure you're not driving though.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Drink after the WOD, not before or during. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got the Friday Night Light starts on the 25th of Feb. Then we've got the 4th of March and the 11th of March as well on that one. So make sure you're free on all those nights. Come down. Like I say, for your teams, even if you don't want to take part, do the workout yourself, that is totally fine. But if you come and cheer your team members on, you're still getting points. You're getting loads of points for your team itself. And also there will be little curveballs thrown, so you can get the Spirit of the Night award, which we'll go into more details a bit close to the time, because I'm not going to give everything away, because I've got one of the team coach captains sitting right next to me.
So guys, even I don't know what's going on. Mark just springs it on us, so that there's no cheating involved. I'll find out when you do. And if you like the Open and you're really enjoying that, then coming up afterwards, we've got Triple Trouble.
Yeah, so the same-sex threes competition.
That's open to everybody, both in and outside of the gym, members-wise. So get yourself a team of 3, and it's a scaled to intermediate. So you don't have to worry about, I can't do this movement. We'll give you some movement standards, and as long as someone in your team can do it, you can all share the load and you can have some fun with that. and there's four
workouts on the day itself. It'll be starting roughly about between 8:15 and 8:45 for registration itself. Then we've got his briefing for WOD 1 at 9 a.m. and then the first heat starts at 9:20. So it gives that first heat plenty of time to get warmed up, ready for that first workout. We're not gonna let you know the workouts today, but we'll drop some hints over our social medias to let you know what is coming up. So we'll have a little bit of guessing.
It's going to be a good day. We've got Project D you've confirmed. We're going to try and get some more people, more vendors to come to keep us fueled for the whole day, so that we can all get through. And then what we've got coming next after that, we've got our formal. We're having a formal event. You can dust off your dicky bows, and that's going to be April time as well, to be confirmed. A chance to give out prizes and awards. Go on, Mark. You know what awards we've got going on.
Well, we've definitely got the best male and best female, which are going to get big plaque. That is mainly from the points wise over the last year from the championships. So on the championships, we've been doing challenges and little Friday Night Lights events over the last year. So gaining points, and so the best female and male will get the names on the shields.
But we've got other awards as well that we'll hand out as well. Nice trophies.
We're looking at it as a 3-course meal, and then we'll have the awards itself, and then hopefully we'll have the DJ there. Yeah, get some entertainment, get some pretty lights. No workouts, just pure drink, eat, and be merry. I think for that one. Yeah. I just enjoy laying his hair down.
Yeah, and then we reset to start the championships again, ready for 2022-23. And then other things that are coming up later in the year. We've got plans again, all to be confirmed. We've got a charity row event that we're going to put on in teams.
So we're looking at that for the charity will be the food bank in Tamworth. Mm-hmm. What we're going to be donating all the funds towards itself. So it's something close to heart. I've had to use food banks before in my time itself. So I thought with the times what's happening now, all the inflation and everything, we thought it would be a good thing to help the local people out. Yeah,
local charity and the community involved. And then when the weather's turning a bit nicer, we've got some more socials coming up. We've got the wine and WOD night.
So that was going to be a females only night, that is, for a couple of hours itself. But then don't worry lads, we've got beers and barbells.
Yeah, little boys night.
So little boys night on that one itself. So they're all to come later on.
Loads of socials. And then the most upcoming one is our weightlifting workshop. When's the weightlifting workshop?
Weightlifting workshop is on the 19th of this month.
Whoa.
So Saturday the 19th. It's going to start at 1 o'clock and it's going to go all the way through till roughly about 5 o'clock itself. It's good opportunity to get your lifting spot on, ready for the open itself. We'll put links in below. Yeah, that's going to be run by Rooni. So Rooni is a GB weightlifter, so great British weightlifter itself, and he's on next.
Yeah, he's our guest today, so we're going to hear from him. He's going to give some tips, and we've got some questions that you guys gave us on Instagram and Facebook, and see what he has to say. Maybe he can obviously give some advice, and we've got some quite interesting questions from you guys, so we're going to throw them at him and see what he goes for, and then get you guys signed up for that weightlifting workshop. So we've got him coming on in just a second, and we're going to find out the ins and outs. Here he is.
Hey, how's it going, Rooney?
Boys,
how you doing?
We're good, yeah?
Yeah, good.
He's live from the M1.
I wish I was on the M1, to be honest.
How are we feeling?
Yeah, good. What are we saying?
Well, we've got a few questions itself. One is how you got started into weightlifting.
To be honest, I watched it on TV, probably around 2012, 2013. And it was, I was always interested in strength-related things, you know what I mean? I was always doing a lot of stuff with my body weight, and even as a child, I was always very active. And then it just caught my eye, and I thought, I believed I had the attributes to succeed in it. But I knew even from the beginning, even when I was nowhere, with nothing, when I started, I knew I'd have a lot of catching up to do to actually get somewhere. For me, it was just like time, put more time in, put more time in, put more time in to catch up. Do you know what I mean? And then eventually, you do catch up.
Yeah.
Starting a sport, you've got to kind of know where do you belong in the sport. You've got to kind of know, what's your role in that sport as an athlete. If you don't know early, then you might be wasting your time, to be honest.
Yeah, you also don't get a sense of direction, do you? You don't know where you're going. You don't know where your goals are.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, it depends what your focus is. If you're happy just to compete, that's fine. But if you want to actually start doing stuff, start winning, it is that winning mindset.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. You can train to win, or you can train to compete, and that's where it starts with your training. So yeah.
So were you always training to win, or just training to compete, or did you start at one and go to the other?
I always wanted to train to win, to be honest, always. Even though, that was obviously that was nowhere near where I was at the time. I was still new in the sport, I was still miles away from my competition. But it was more about, for me, just biding my time, trying to chase. I was always chasing. But I always felt I had the attributes to compete with these guys. So it was for me, in my mind, it was always a matter of time. It's gonna be a matter of time until I get to that position, and that's it.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what are your current training?
I hate answering this one because it's too complicated, you know what I mean? It's just too complicated. So I train 6 days a week, double session on a Sunday, Saturday off. I have 1 day off. I don't like to have too many days off. I don't like to have 2 days off in the week. I just feel very lethargic, very lazy. My mind is always working. I'm very active. So if I'm 8 weeks out, there's a lot of volume. There's a lot of volume on your squats, a lot of volume on your lifts, on your pulls, on your strength work as well. But as you get closer, that tapers down, and you start going into higher percentages, higher intensity, sort of less reps, less volume, just so you can recover. That's the basic principle of training. You know what I mean? Periodization. Build some conditioning. Get your body ready for those big weights. That's the idea. And if you're not ready for those big weights, then your joints are going to be breaking. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Do you have little markers like within your build up? Like, if I don't hit this at this certain time, I need to do X, Y, and Z? Or
yeah, I go. So obviously, I write everything down in a journal. Like training diary. So I know in what particular time I should be hitting in terms of what weights, how far out of the competition. Then I know what kind of shape I'm in. There's always a certain, if I'm so far off it, then I've definitely been lazy or something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But that's very, very rare. That's usually if I've had an injury, then that happens. But I know what range I need to be in. Not always I can get a PB in training. But as long as I hit a certain weight, I know I'm good for the competition. I know I'm in good shape for the competition to actually try and go for a PB. So that's the main thing, yeah.
So obviously you just come back from the British Championships. How did that get on?
So I managed to win the class.
Fantastic.
It wasn't an easy route to the gold, yeah. So basically what happened is one of my coaches wanted me to come out on 107. I said, on the snatch as an opener. I said, no, it's too low for me. I know what my competition is going to be doing. I said, I want 110. So we decided I said, right, I'll do 107 in the warm-up in the back and then come out on 110. While I was doing that 107, we were trying to do the change, but there was an issue with the iPads at the British. They have iPads for some reason. Yeah. I don't know why, but which is silly because it's too slow. It doesn't work. Paper's fast. Just change it, sign it, done.
Yeah.
Anyway, iPad, there was when my coach was trying to change it, 2 of them crashed. The third one, it just took too long, and then by that time it timed out. So while I was doing 107, and while that change was meant to happen, I was getting timed out at 107 on the platform. So I lost the lift.
Yeah.
So there you go, a technical issue. So I lost the lift, and I was at that time I didn't know. I thought something's happening. I don't know. Anyway, I thought, fuck it. My coach says, just come out. Let's do 107 on the second attempt now. So now this is my actual opener, but I'm down 1 lift. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now I'm actually down a lift, so I can't risk it. I need to get a number on the board.
Yeah. Okay?
Although it put me nowhere, really. The 107 put me nowhere. So I come back, hit that nice and easy. Came back absolutely livid because I was like, right, now I've got 1 lift to play with. I've got 1 lift. out of 3 that I should have had, you know?
Yeah.
That 107 don't really count in my mind. Like, there's nothing. I'm miles away. I know my competition's going to be doing in the mid-teens, high teens, you know?
Yeah.
So I said to my coach, well, he asked me, as a coach would, after a 107, he'd probably say, "Why would you want 12 or 13?" I says, "It's not enough. It's not enough. If I want to get up there by the end of the total, I need to hit something decent."
Yeah.
So I says, right, I'm going to do 111 in here, and I want 115 out there. And he agreed. And it's hard to come off a stage and do a lift in the back, you know, because you're hyped up on stage, and then in the back it's like there's no one there. You need to get, you know, and I'm doing a heavier lift in the back than I am out there. So now it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, you switch off, you just go for it. Like, anyway, I did 111, nice, no problem. And then I was ready for 115. But that 115, I mean, it's 8 kilo difference, you know. Well, yeah, 8 kilo difference, which is huge in terms of in snatch anyway. Fine on a clean jerk, not on a snatch. But I needed that 115 to win. Like, that's what helped me to win at the end. That was the most important lift of the competition, in my opinion, the 115. I mean, it's nowhere near my max. You know, I could have hit a bit more on the day, but just dealt with the cards I had, and that was it. Like, I weren't backing down. I wanted, the willpower was there. You know, if I was gonna just sort of lie down and roll over, like, it'd have been 112. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
112, nice, easy 112, comfortable. Do you know what I mean? I can't do that. It's not me. So we got 115. You know, I was absolutely right. I'm back in the competition now. Like, was that, you know? And then I opened well, and on the clean jerks 136, and then went 142, and then my competition missed 143, and that was it. Like, I missed 145 at the end. I didn't need it, but I wanted it just to get a bigger total.
Yeah.
I only just missed that 145, but the 142 is very, very good. So there's lots of positives to take from it. I wasn't 100% in shape as well for that competition, but like, it showed what I could do with literally 3 weeks of good training. That was literally it for that comp. So yeah, you know, there's lots of positives to take from that. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Well done on that, especially well done on getting gold as well.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, my main objective was to beat the English lifters, obviously, to put myself forward for the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
Who were the favourite to win was Gareth Evans. He's Welsh.
Yeah.
Also Commonwealth champion, but he bombed out. So then it put me in a good spot. Right, I can actually win it now. And that was it, really. But from my personal point of view, I wanted him to win.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, even though I've just talked about me wanting to win, this is not this. You know, he retired at that competition.
Yeah, I was going to say he retired after that was his last competition.
That's not what I wanted. I wanted him to retire at the Commonwealth Games. You know, if we both made it at the Commonwealth Games, you know, I'd be sort of, you know, even better than I am now. It'd have been good battle as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I was looking forward to, a battle at the Commonwealth Games with him. You know, a legitimate one. And winning on merit, not because someone's mistakes. That's not how I like to win. So, is what it is.
Is the future now getting ready for the Commonwealth now?
At the moment, we've got one more qualifying event in April. I think mid-April some point. And I basically need to win that and put a really good total in. And then, you know, that's looking positive towards getting to go, really. But there's no guarantee, you know. You just, you know, put your best foot forward and go for it, really.
Being then, what is your three key tips for success then in weightlifting?
There's many keys, man.
Yeah. What do you think's the main three, though?
It's hard, but it changes every day, to be honest. But you need a very good coach, you know, someone that's actually very experienced, you know, someone that's been tried and tested, not someone that's just come out of, you know, uni course or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. Too many idiots out there, really. Someone that's really experienced, you know, we're talking good lifters, good coach anyway. That's coached good lifters, that's developed good lifters as well, you know. Consistency, really. You've got to turn up, you've got to be consistent, you've got to train even when you don't want to train, and actually give, you know, put the effort in. That's when it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, when you feel good, it's easy, but when you feel shit, it's not easy.
No, it never is. You
know, when you've got to hit those reps, and you're like, I can't be bothered, but you need to hit those reps. Like, that motivation sometimes ain't there. Like, you've got to do it. Like, because every rep that you miss, you're giving your opponent an opportunity to beat you. So you know, is that what you want in a couple of weeks' time? Do you want that? You know,
is that kind of what you say to yourself when you're in that can't be arsed mode? You go, look, I've got to do it because of this, or
oh yeah, because I don't, you know, it's more, it is along those lines.
have a word with yourself.
Yeah, but mine's a bit more like violent than that.
There we go, an insight into Rooney's mind.
That's how I feel. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no matter how you feel, you've still got to put the work in. So you know, you can feel like you're the best in the country, but you still got to put the work in. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, definitely.
And third point, it is level of focus. I know that comes in with consistency, but there is some focus level. There's a couple. There's more than 3 points, but
yeah.
You know, support. Make sure you've got the right support around you. Looking after your body, that's another one. You've got to make sure you're taking care of your body, feeding your body the right things. You know, and focus as well. Focusing the training. You know, there's certain people that turn up to the gym and they're just talking shit. Like, you know, that feeds off. You know, energy feeds off. You feed off each other. Like, okay, he's talking shit, so I could talk shit.
Yeah,
man.
And then someone sees you talking shit, they're talking shit. Now you're in a group of people talking shit, you know. But if someone's there grafting, training hard, focusing, then that can feed off each other, you know. Then you're like, right, there you go. There's the intensity. There's the fire. That's what I need to be like. They're trying to achieve something. They're not wasting their time in the gym. That's what I need to be like. It is very extreme, but in terms of a winner's mindset, right? This sort of set my life depends on it almost, or you know. As crazy as that is, you know, or this weight, so if I don't hit this, man, you know, that's the mindset you have to think. Like, you know, you're in here for a reason. You know, you fucking, even though your life doesn't depend on it, that's how you need to think. Like, it does, just to get yourself in a deep place, so you can actually fucking hit those heavy weights. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have like an end? Well, not an end goal, because obviously it's career long. Like, what's the ultimate dream? What's the you know? Once I've achieved this, I'm happy. Or is it one of those, I'm never happy because I'm always looking for the next thing, I'm always looking for the next one?
I'm not sure. Your success is never final, so it doesn't, you know, there's always something new that comes up. So I've probably some big numbers, but maybe like a 130 snatch or a 160 clean and jerk. But then, like, even then, I'm like, not always about the numbers.
Yeah. But then when you're going to get to if you get there yourself onto those numbers, then you go, oh, okay, I want more.
Exactly, and then you're going to start falling apart in it. So your body just says, no, I've had enough, man. But like, it's not always about the numbers. It's always about the battle. More about your character building. It's always about the battle. Like that British. I don't think people realise what I was capable of in terms of with the situation that happened. I think, you know, it showed my ability to handle things. I've noticed that I thrive better under high pressure environment.
Yeah.
That's how I get motivated. That's what brings the best out of me. If I don't feel pressured, if I don't have any fear, then I'm not the best. I'm not the best in the room. That's it. That's how I feel. Like, I need fear. I need to feel like I need to pull something out today. Like, that's how I want. You know what I mean? I want my back against the wall. That's how that's how I want to feel. That's when the best comes out of me on the day. And that's how I felt on the day. But it was no issue. I want to feel that way.
So we're on the 19th of Feb. We coming down here doing a workshop. Can you tell a little bit more, so we can get more interest on there, see if anybody wants to take part and what it's all about?
Yeah, I've done a few with you guys and I've really enjoyed it. Basically, it's a technique workshop. We focus on the snatch and the clean and jerk. So I run through the theory part of it, not only telling you what is right or wrong, but it's more for you to understand. There's a lot of people that actually don't understand the lifts. They just do the lifts. You could explain the lifts to them, but they still don't understand. Like, there's levels to it, you know. It's to find a way where they can absorb what is actually happening in the lift.
Yeah.
Why is it important to get, you know, a good strong hip contact? You know what I mean? That's where the power is really coming from. I don't think many people actually understand that. And then I do a little demonstration as to what good technique is. I still sort of talk through it as well, as to why I do certain things, you know, my experience, my sort of knowledge. And then, you know, it's a coaching sort of session. It's more practical where people try and implement that, and hopefully take something and change. You know, they've learned something from the theory and use it. and that takes like four hours at least, really, in total, because it is quite in depth, really.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm still not. There's more to go, but the thing is, you have to keep it simple. The principles as to why they do it, why is that important, and it's more about them understanding what is wrong and right instead of me telling them what is wrong and right. So they'll be able to sort of understand, okay, that's wrong because of this, or that's right because of this, instead of me just going there, they doing a practical and me putting them in the right position, but they don't know why that's in the right position.
From being someone who did it when you did the first one, just sitting down and watching you put some weight on and look at that up close and how that works is just really, really, it's not only impressive, but it's useful. It's so useful to see, like, you doing a little warm up and how you prepare and how you come to the bar. That's like really useful to see as well. I think personally, I took a lot from that. It's a good course.
Yeah, every athlete has a different warm up. Like, everyone has a different warm up. Like, I've noticed that you have to find what works for you. The thing is, there's no right or wrong way to warm up. There's certain people that can just warm up with the bar and still move well. Like, I have to do a little bit of stretching, a little bit of mobilizing, and I'm ready to go, sort of thing. And I have to get the bar moving a bit.
We have to oil our joints and get ourselves hyped up for that.
When you get over 40, it takes a little bit longer to warm the joints up itself.
It's about a week, isn't it?
That is a lot of people as well. To be fair, people, a lot of banded stuff and all that.
It takes a good 40 minutes just to wear knee sleeves to warm my knees up.
That's why you need that tiger balm, innit?
Oh, yeah.
So did you take much out of the theory then in the workshop that we did that time, or?
I did. It was just a different way of looking at it, different perspective, different cues. It was stuff that I already had in my head and stuff that I've already learnt previously, but it's interesting hearing it in a different way, and also different exercises. Like watching you drop under the bar changed the way I thought about a drop under the bar, even though for years I know that I've got to drop under the bar. And it's really hard to explain in that sense. It's like you're not going in and going, oh, I'm going to learn all these new things, because you will have been told them and you will have seen them, but putting them into action in a different scenario and seeing you do them, and actually for me, spending more than an hour, 2 hours with a barbell is like really valuable. I think personally for me that was one of the biggest things as well. Actually I'm going to work on this lift for a long time and actually just look at getting the technique right, and that was really valuable for me, because most of us just like we do an open gym,
do it for half an hour.
I'm going to go jump on the bike now, or I'm going to do like a silly metcon, but it's actually quite nice just to go, right, I'm going to put aside a day and work on things that I'm crap at and make sure that I'm not crap at them, or at least know a direction, set some targets. So
there's a lot of people that actually don't do the snatch balance very well. There's like, it is this your drop and catch, but they still drop slow and catch slow. Do you know what I mean? They're still trying to press that bar. You actually genuinely need to drop and actually catch that bar. You're free falling, and that's how it should be. When you get that timing right with the snatch balance, that's when your lifts will actually start changing. If you can master snatch balance properly, then your lifts will start changing. My opinion. Because your timing gets better under the bar as well, and you sort of understand where the bar is. It's more like sensing the bar.
Also, you get more confidence as well.
Dropping under.
Yeah, dropping under. More confidence leads with more weight than itself.
There's certain people, when they snatch, they have to think about the drop. For me, when I snatch, I don't think about the drop. It just happens. But again, like, that's something that people need to drill. That's the snatch balance, constantly drilling it. And even as a warm up, it's really good. Just get the timing of the bar. If you want to be a precise lifter, a very consistent lifter, the snatch is one of the hardest lifts there are in terms of technically speaking. So when you do actually do it, you have to make sure you're prepared to put the mental sort of work into it, because you can't just pick it up and snatch 100 kilos. It just don't work like that. So.
But yeah, I think if anyone's interested in that workshop, I think it doesn't matter whether you're coaching, whether you've been doing it for years or you're new to it. You're going to find so much value in just being in a room with a load of people and working on those lifts, let alone being in the room with with yourself, who's going to come around and help everyone and get it going.
It's a good atmosphere, to be honest, as well. Just gets the vibes going and people lifting well. Whether or not you want to actually get better at lifting, that's up to you. But
just come and vibe, it's fine.
Yeah, man, that's up to you. It's a good step forward anyway. Learn from good athletes, learn from good coaches, and then hopefully take it into your own training. And that's the main thing.
100%.
We've got some questions that people have sent us on Instagram, which you kind of answered half of them anyway. But there is just a couple. It'll probably take you about 2 seconds of your time. So Jen says, if you didn't do your Olympic lifting as a sport, what other sport would you do?
Maybe athletics or gymnastics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very quick, but I don't know what event I'd be in or anything. I've no idea. In terms of gymnastics, athletics.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe the 60 meters or something. Maybe, you know what I mean? I'm pretty quick, but I don't know how quick I would be if I trained it properly.
So at the workshop, we'll set a little route for you outside in the car park, and we'll
get you time.
Like a little wager, and I'll have a race with everyone. That'll work.
We've got a really, really interesting question from Camille. He says, what are the main differences between Chinese and European weightlifting techniques, and which one do you prefer?
So the European one is it's derived from sort of Russian / Bulgarian around that time, sort of 60s, 70s, 60s, 70s. The Chinese is more suited to them because of their limb length, and their back is a lot longer. So they have to start a little bit lower compared to everyone else. But that works for them because of their biomechanics. I'm not here to say that's wrong or right, because there's none of those theories or whatever you want to call them, those training methods, or they're not wrong. None of them are. For me, I like to use the Russian. If people are have those sort of limb lengths and that size and that structure of a sort of Chinese lifter, sort of Korean lifters, then you would have to adopt that. You would have to, as a coach, you'd have to adopt that and say, right, you need to drop your bum a little bit, because there's so much more. Obviously, the longer back you have, the more pressure you have in the back. So if you were to have your bum slightly higher in the pull, there's more pressure in the back, and the shin angle will be straight as well straight away, because they probably have shorter leg, shorter femurs, shorter tibias or whatever you call them. So they wouldn't actually need to have their bum higher, compared to sort of traditional sort of Russian style or Bulgarian style. It's about what works for the athlete and where did they get the most power from. I actually genuinely used to lift with my bum slightly lower on the snatch, and it worked for a while. But then I started noticing, like, when I was tired or when I wasn't feeling powerful, I didn't end up using my leg strength, my lateral leg power, because it was a lot more, more upright. Although I have had great success with that technique, for me, I thought, right, I'm going to have to change this a little bit. So I bring my bum back up again, started a little bit higher up. I'm getting more power from my legs. I know it's going to be more stress on my back. That's something I'm aware of. But I just have to make sure my back's strong enough. But there's no right or wrong. The Russians also jump in the snatch. They teach the jump as well. You've got to jump. You'll see them. They leave the ground on the snatch. So do I. But the Chinese don't do that. They don't teach that, I don't think. They just sort of get on the toes and then back down. Do you know what I mean? They don't have any air time. I'm pretty sure that's across the board with Chinese. They don't have any air time in the pull, really, in terms of the feet leaving. So, yeah, it's just different methods, In terms of efficiency, in terms of if you're going off ratios, their squat strength is through the roof compared to someone from the Western world, like, a good lifter from England or America or whatever.
Awesome. Right, so two quite odd, silly questions to finish on, and then we'll let you get back to training, because obviously you're on the way.
Yeah, man, you know me.
Next session of the day. Right, so two very quick ones. Kelly says, what would your superhero name and power be?
I don't know superhero name, but
power.
Super Siraj, I don't know. Siraj, there you go. Speedy Siraj. Probably to fly, definitely.
We were chatting about this earlier.
Yeah,
we pretty much came up with the same thing. Yeah.
How can you not? You know, invisibility is a bit weird. I mean, do you know what I mean? Maybe when you were a kid, that was amazing. Oh, yeah, I'm invisible. I can see things. I can see all these things. But then it's just a bit weird now as you get older. And then speed is whatever. I mean, I'd rather just fly and I could just go anywhere, anytime. So
yeah. Exactly what we
Pretty
said.
much what we said as well, yeah.
Especially with the
teleport. You know, like Jumper. You've seen that film Jumper.
Yeah,
Teleport,
yeah.
Cool. That's a good one.
Then you could teleport under your snatch and you'd be like that, wouldn't you?
I already do that.
There we go. I'll set you up for that one, mate.
Come on, man.
And the last question, which I think will be quite interesting. What sport would be the funniest if you had to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to it?
So you had to be drunk to do it, right?
Or maybe every time something happens in the game or a point scored, more alcohol's added. I don't know.
That's a hard one.
I know. Oh wait, these they've just sent them. That's Andrew. He's just sent that into us.
Oh, that's really hard. I don't know, to be honest. It'd have to be something that has a lot of lives left in it, so you can do. It's not like wait, then you've got six attempts. That's not enough, is it? So there you go. I don't know. It's maybe
I mean, is beer pong a sport?
Maybe. Maybe like tennis or something. That would be good. You'll see a ball coming to you, you'll shit yourself, won't you? So.
Well, we'll give that a go on the as a cool down from the weightlifting workshop at the end of the month. Drunken tennis in the car park. We'll see what happens.
Hey,
we'll bring the beer, mate. We'll bring the beer.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a guest yourself.
Good to have a chat with you.
Yeah. So we'll look forward to getting you down here on the 19th for the workshop itself. So for those who's not signed on, look at the link below and keep an eye on our socials for how to log on to it.
Yeah,
lads, come on, and women, men and women, let's get on it.
Yes.
Cool, guys. Right. Thanks for your time, guys.
Thanks,
dude.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much.
Take care, guys. See you later.
See you later. Alright, guys, that brings us to the end of the podcast itself. We'll look forward to doing another one in the very near future itself.
Yeah, if you guys have got any questions or any ideas for things that you want us to address, we've got some guests lined up in the calendar, some exciting people who are going to come on and come and join us, get some insight into their world as well. So yeah, give us some comments and some messages.
And we'll look forward to it for the next time.
See you next time.